I have to say, our culture stands disconnected from the history of the world. Even as recently as my childhood, you could threaten to whip somebody's ass without getting the police called on you. See, that was when men were actually men and men were not sissified girls. I can think of one, Ryan the Presbyterian, who cried like a little baby because I said I was going to, quote, whip his ass. I wish he would stand up to me as a man, but that's neither here nor there. I get when somebody says, quote, I'm going to kill you, unquote, that is a threat of violence. But men in the heat of arguments do say things like that, and it's hyperbole. So I think this is a real slippery slope to disconnect from the history of the world, where men, even in our own history, what Alexander Hamilton and Burr, should we consider them criminals? Do we judge them so harshly as to vilify everybody that preceded us in the history of the world? I think this generation has lost its mind, and it's most evident in the government. And I'm pretty sure it's in a lot of millennial males. But I'm happy to have found a group of guys, young guys, in their mid-20s that I meet at the bar. And you know what? These guys are not sissy la-las like so many men I've met in the church. And these young men are good men. They've been to prison, pay their debt to society, but they are good men. I would trust them far more than any Christian I met in the church. As a matter of fact, I know beyond a shadow of a doubt, because I show love to those guys and treat them like sons, I could probably ask them to do something if somebody crossed me, and they would do it. That's how much respect they have for me. But I would never do anything like that. But isn't that what a general does? Wasn't George Washington a man who could get the respect of men around him, and they would fight to the death for him? Isn't that what secret agents are supposed to do? What is wrong with this world? I don't have the answers, because I could suggest Jesus, but the church has been so taken advantage of by the culture, in the same way that we see in the physical world, the way that the election was manipulated by the FBI and big tech. Do you all really think that same kind of battle in the marketplace of ideas is not going on, and has actually been going on for the last 40 years? We have sissified young men. We are ripe to be taken over by China, because I guarantee you send over the kung fu masters in the military, one-on-one, hand-to-hand combat, I would say the Chinese beat us with 8 gold medals and we get 2. Because we've sissified young men in our culture. Again, this is Kenny. I approve this message. Vote for me as I run for King of the United States of America.